Today is the 60th anniversary of the presentation of bark petitions from the Yolŋu people of Yirrkala in the Northern Territory to the Commonwealth Parliament. The Yolŋu were protesting the seizure of their land by large mining corporations. Their action was a pivotal moment in the campaign for land rights and for justice for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. This is their story. In March of 1963, the Menzies government announced that it was removing over 36,000 hectares from the Arnhem Land Reserve to be used for mining leases. This was done without any consultation with the Yolŋu people. The Yolŋu began a campaign of lobbying and advocacy to try and protect their land. In response to their action, 2 MPs from the Australian Labor Party travelled to Yirrkala. The Yolŋu made a powerful case for their connection to country and the horrendous effect that the mine would have on their land and their way of life. On this visit, one of these MPs suggested that the Yolŋu petition the Parliament in a manner that represented their culture. The Yolŋu decided to create a petition on bark that demonstrated their ongoing connection to the land. The Yirrkala bark petition was painted in clan designs by senior Yolŋu artists. The petition stated, "The land in question has been hunting and food gathering land for the Yirrkala tribes from time immemorial. We were all born here." On 14th of August, the bark petition, alongside another printed on paper, was tabled in the Commonwealth Parliament. This tabling was the first time that an Australian Parliament had formally recognised Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander documents. The Coalition Minister for Territories, Paul Hasluck, dismissed the petition, saying that its signatories were all young people with no authority to represent Yolŋu. In response, the Yolŋu prepared another petition thumb-printed by senior Yolŋu men and women. The pressure created by the petitions and the public campaigning around them led to the formation of a parliamentary committee to investigate the situation. The committee travelled to Yolŋu to prepare its report. In October of 1963, the report was released, proposing that the mining be allowed to proceed. The only minor concessions it offered was for some compensation, protection of sacred sites, and monitoring of the project. In the early 1960s, serious changes in attitudes within the union movement were taking place as the result of the activists and advocacy of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander unionists. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander unionists and their comrades challenged exclusionary attitudes in the movement. The effect of this activism could be seen in the union response to the Yirrkala petition and the support shown for the Yolŋu by unionists. The union movement's attitude were best expressed in the 1963 Congress. Unionists at this Congress voted to support the campaign for wage equality and for a referendum to count Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples in the census. It also called for rights of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples to exercise control over their land. This was inspired by the campaign of the Yolŋu and other communities whose countries were being threatened by giant corporations wanting to exploit the land. As the Queensland Trades and Labour Council argued its proposed motion, these corporate giants were making empty promises about Aboriginal welfare while pirating resources on Aboriginal tribal grounds. In 1968, the Yolŋu sought an injunction to stop the mining from the Northern Territory Supreme Court. In 1971, the judge overseeing the case, Justice Blackburn, handed down a decision that rejected the Yolŋu claim. Following the court's decision, the ACTU executive met to reiterate its support for the Yolŋu and for the broader cause of land rights. This was a part of the growing momentum for land rights in this period that led to the Whitlam Labor government, following its election in 1972, forming a Royal Commission into Aboriginal land rights. This commission led to the Whitlam government's introduction of the Land Rights Bill into the House of Representatives. This bill was initially stalled before being amended and passed by the Fraser government as the Aboriginal Land Rights Northern Territory Act in 1976. 60 years on, we proudly remember the courageous and inspiring actions of the Yolŋu. The fact that we still lack the basic right to land that the Yolŋu were campaigning for shows how far we still have to go. This year, we have the opportunity to make a massive step forward as a country by recognising Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in a practical manner through a voice to Parliament. A chance for all of us to come together, learn from our history and make a better future for all Australians. A better future based on listening, respect and recognition.